at a distance of 200 km from Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza. There's an area close to the shores of the Red Sea, which is called Wadi al-Jarf. You could only see mountains and mounds of barren limestone, far and wide. But there's also such a secret spot, in which some such secrets are hidden, which were buried 4,500 years ago. Yes, in this deserted place, there's a limestone mound in the middle of the desert, which looks like an ordinary mound when viewed from above, but many tunnels were made by cutting stones inside it. And these tunnels were blocked with the help of stones weighing thousands of tons. 45 centuries ago, the ancient Egyptians had hidden something here, which they did not want to bring to the world. But when the stones were removed from the front of these tunnels for the first time, the scene inside shook the whole world. Welcome back to History Lens videos. Viewers, the magnificent pyramids of Egypt and every patch of this land is filled with fascinating mysteries. But it is believed that many pyramids are still hidden under sand dunes in Egypt. At present, the largest of the pyramids that exist in the world can be found in the Egyptian city of Cairo, which is called the Pyramid of Khufu. This 480 feet high pyramid was built by Egyptian King Khufu, whereas next to it, this 450 feet high pyramid was built by King Khafre, son of King Khufu during his reign. Surprisingly, 2.5 million square and rectangle blocks of limestone were used to make each pyramid, and the weight of each block is said to be 2,500 kg. It is the same weight as the weight of 2 hatchback cars. Carrying so much weight to a height of 480 feet and keeping each block at the perfect angle is a task, which in today's era can take many years to perform. So imagine how this work would have been done 45 centuries ago without machinery. This is such a mystery, which has kept the world puzzled for the last many hundreds of years. The place where these pyramids are built was once a flourishing city of ancient Egyptians, but then due to unknown reasons, this entire area got submerged under several feet of sand. In the year 1798, when the French military leader Napoleon came to capture Egypt, that time, the pyramid and the Sphinx were buried more than halfway through the sand. Excavation work continued for the next 100 years to remove sand. And for the first time in the 1980s, a major discovery took place here. Near the pyramid of Khafre, the skeleton of the workers were found who built Khafre's pyramid. After inspecting many skeletons, it was found that these people were not slaves because they were given good food and were given medical treatment. These workers were buried near the pyramids as a mark of respect for building their king's pyramids. Unfortunately, after the death of King Khufu, this place was at the mercy of the grave robbers for many years. For this reason, neither any papyrus, i.e., a written document, was found from here nor any such evidence was found, from which it can be concluded that when and how these pyramids were made. Even many statues of other Egyptian kings and their mummies were discovered, but with time, neither any intact statue of King Khufu is left, nor did the robbers spare his mummy. Only a finger-sized statue of King Khufu was found, which is kept in the Cairo Museum. To know the Egyptian King Khufu and his life in detail, it was necessary that investigations were done outside Giza. Archaeologists found an old seaport on the coast of the Red Sea, at a distance of 200 km from the pyramid site, which was suspected to have been used during the reign of King Khufu. This broken structure found near the sea was so big that several hundred people could live and work comfortably in it. When this area was thoroughly inspected, boat anchors were also found from inside the sea. In that era, anchors made of stones were used to dock big boats by tying ropes through them. Stone anchors with holes were found in large numbers, which proves that 4,500 years ago, it used to be a seaport for ancient Egyptians. If this was a port, then obviously the boats, or their parts, that used to sail here would have been kept somewhere nearby, and the experts were looking for those boats only. After many years of hard work, Egyptologists finally found several tunnels dug with great skill inside a mound of limestone a few kilometers away from the port, whose entrance was blocked with the help of big stones. The probability was high that this was the place where ancient Egyptians used to hide their boats from robbers. But the archaeological team had no idea at all that from here they're going to get some special evidence even greater than the boats. When the stones were removed from the entrance of these tunnels, the scene inside was something which no one had seen it for the last 4,500 years. No whole boat was found in this very large and spacious storeroom-like tunnels, but many parts of the boats were definitely found. Apart from these parts, the name of King Khufu was also found written on many stones here. The French Egyptologist Pierre Tallet is well aware of this name, as he had seen this name on many hieroglyphics before. What was written on it means, "May our god Khufu protect us." The ancient Egyptians considered their king to be God, and wherever they used to work, they used to write the name of their god, i.e. king. This name is written on the stone was a sign that this ancient storeroom was used during the period of King Khufu. When a detailed investigation was done in this secret storeroom, surprisingly, a dilapidated papyrus was also found here, which was buried under a heavy stone. Papyrus is a thick paper made from the papyrus plant. In those days, all the paperwork was done on these papyri. Egyptologists and their team who came here to search for boats, but now he had got a very important document. And it is also necessary to tell you here that it was the oldest papyrus found all over the world till date. To understand what was written in this document, it is necessary to restore it first. After 6 years of hard work, when it was restored, it showed glimpses of the King Khufu's era. The author of this papyrus was a supervisor named Merer, who worked for King Khufu. It was a kind of record book in which the supervisor used to write down whatever work he did with his 40 workers. Ancient Egyptians used graphics in their language. For this reason, it is very difficult for an Egyptologist to interpret those graphics. The biggest question that was troubling them was, what was the supervisor doing here with his 40 workers? And what work did he do for King Khufu? After many years of hard work, it was learned from papyrus that a supervisor named Merer used to unload the copper from the boat and transfer it to the Nile River with the help of donkeys. From there, he used to transport copper to the pyramid site by loading it again on boats. Knowing this information, Egyptologists started to understand the whole story. There was no iron in that period. That's why Merer and his team used to sit in boats and go across the ocean to the Sinai Peninsula. A lot of copper is still found in Sinai, and after loading the copper from there, they used to come back to the port. He used to carry copper on the donkeys and carry them up to the Nile River, from where they used to load them again in boats.